and flatten it so we can work on it in Photoshop or other softwares. Um, is there ways to paint directly onto the mesh? Yes, but eventually it usually gets back to a map. And so you want to UV things and flatten it. Um, yeah, uh, so here's a tight, dense mesh. As you see, there's very little space that's wasted. All right, especially for games, if you're going to bring in, 1024 pixels, right? Use them. You don't want to be importing them, bring them into the game engine and then in doing that calculation and then only using half or have a big region you're not using. So you want to use as much of the pixels you're bringing in. Okay, so, one way to do your UVs is to have a combined texture map and just move the UVs to the appropriate part of the texture map. And and that's a good way to do things in games because you bring in the one texture and all of a sudden you have 4 different houses textured with it on the one draw call. Okay, so here we want to do our texture of this. Now, if I was typically doing this before I did the mirror to the left side, I would have UV'd it, just because it makes everything simpler. And I have, so I've made quick selection sets so that it's easy for me to quickly select. And so let's just start with our the handle because that's pretty distinct and good. And so I'm going to do a UV planar map. Okay, and this is on the X of the model. And I'll hop into my UV texture editor and it looks like this. Okay, so we got some messy stuff behind there. And for now, I'll just move that up. And so that's both sides I'm getting. Okay, so it's because of the way I did the selection. I am going to do one little tweak and just get it. Okay, so now my proportions are correct. All right, and so then I will, let's see, for games, I would probably select by type shell. Come on. Select by type shell. And, okay. Let's try selecting nothing. Select back. Okay. Select by type shell. Good. And I'll flip this. Snap, flip, 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 flip. There we go. Chunk. Okay. And just stack. So those are going to be the same. All right. And probably pretty small in the grand scheme of things. All right, so everything has to be between 0 and 1, 0 and 1. I can start up here putting things together and moving them down. All right, so next, okay, let's go to the next selection set. And sets and quick selection set. Oops, let's select. There we go. Quick selection set. And come on, get back here, get back here. Side strips, handle brass. Okay, so 4. Okay, so that's those pieces. And I'll also give them a quick, come on, there we go, and planer. And, oh, good, I did remember those rivets. I thought I'd forgotten them. Okay, so scale those down. And, all right. Now these guys, I'm going to want to make sure I unfold them. Unfold. Fix none. There is none. Whoa. Okay. Nice. One of them's unhappy there. But, all right, let's get these guys stacked. So one of the things in games is you got to stack things. You know, you just can't. Yeah, I mean, it's just more efficient to calculate. And good. All right, I got a couple missing guys, so let's just go find them. So I'm gonna just do. All right, and stitch together. Really? Okay. And then put these guys to sew. So, ooh. All right, well, that's good and bad. All right, let's, guess I'll run the unfold again. Select shell, unfold. There we go. Now that's happy. This guy is not happy. And and is no. All right, let's grab these guys, stitch together, and G. And so it's not hard, it's just a lot of work. Unfold that a bit. Oh, that looks nice. Unfold these guys. And that's looking nice. And I'm missing those guys. Let's stitch together. Okay. And there we go. Get that guy sewn. Okay, now that's coming back together. All right, so that's really what it's about. Select shell, unfold. Yeah, so that's what it should be looking like. And stack that guy. And this guy missed a few in my selection. That's less than optimal, admittedly, but you know, it's normal. And so I just slowly stitch these guys together. Usually when it's like this and they're already attached, the sew works better. Where if I'm, let's just keep going with the stitch and stitch. Okay, and let's see, and we just do a UV shell and unfold. Good. And we have these guys, the rivets there, and unfold. Okay. So it's saying those guys are unfolded. All right. And so put that someplace handy. Righto.